Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Education meeting for USD230 on July 28th, 2025. Rachel, please take the roll.
Mrs. Horn?
Here.
Mr. Chitwood?
Here.
Mrs. Mitchell?
Here.
Mr. Ewing?
Here.
Mrs. Milius?
Here.
Mr. Hull?
Here.
Mrs. Baker?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, moving on to 2.01, approval of the agenda. I would like to motion for two changes. I would like to move 6.06, the approval of 6.06 to its own action item, please. Right below the consent agenda. And I would like to add an executive session, 8.02 for personnel matters of non-elected personnel.
Just to make sure I got it correct, 6.06 as an action item, 8.02 executive session. That's what you're proposing?
Yes, two. So moving the personnel approval to its own action item separate and adding an executive session 8.02 for personnel matters of non-elected personnel.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion? Rachel, please take the vote.
Mr. Chitwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Ewing?
Yes.
Mrs. Milius?
Yes.
Mr. Hull?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mrs. Horn?
Yes.
Approved.
Wonderful. Would everyone rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, moving on to the reading of our mission and vision. We read these at the beginning of every meeting to keep these objectives at the forefront of all of our decisions. Our mission is to be a school district that engages students to learn, create, adapt, and succeed in an ever-changing world. And our vision is to maintain small town values and empower each student to achieve world-class success. All right, moving on to public participation. We have just one card? Yes. All right. Erica Sheets, would you please join us? I want to remind you that based on Kansas law, KSA 75-4319, the board shall not hear personal complaints concerning any student, employee, or groups of students during open session. You have a 3-minute time.
And I think she has to state her name and address, right? She doesn't have to do that? Okay. It timed out. Okay, take two. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for having me here in Spring Hill, members, and everyone in the audience. I appreciate it. My name is Erica Sheets. I am the chapter chair of Moms for Liberty, Johnson County. And for those of you who aren't familiar, this is a national organization, but that has a truly grassroots heart, because every single chapter are local parents who just raised their hands and said, we want to get involved in our schools and we don't really know how to do this. So maybe you can help us. And our chapter here in Johnson County is 4 years old next month. And so we're delighted to be able to speak for parents in Spring Hill and all over the county. So I am here tonight to be able to talk a little bit about technology. I'm sure that you guys are aware there is so much going on in education these days, right? At the federal level, things changing, at the state level, things changing, our state funding formulas under review currently. And so I think there's just a lot up in the air and you're in a tough position having to lead and make a lot of decisions on that. And so when it comes to technology, there's so much data out there now. Technology in schools has been out long enough that there's really good data where you can see where it's effective, like in science and mathematics, for example, where it's actually depressing performance and achievement, like in ELA. And so I would love to call upon this board and this district to lead Johnson County in doing, I guess, what you could call a technical audit of how tech is really being used in your classrooms to understand where you want to allocate your funds, where technology makes sense to have, and where it doesn't. Obviously, AI is a huge piece that's coming on the scene in education. It's on the scene, and then it's going to continue to change. So really understanding that as the landscape is changing from a funding standpoint, and as technology continues to change, you can really better understand how to meet that mission and vision for your students if you really understand how is it actually being used today in your classrooms to make sure that you get the most juice for the squeeze, right, on your funding for technology and on what you choose to have your students spending the time on and your teachers utilizing that tool. So I would call upon you to consider leading Johnson County in that, and really, I think it would set the bar for the other districts as well. So that's it. I'm available for questions.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. All right. Rachel, is that all of our speakers this evening?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda, which includes approval of the consent agenda, approval of minutes, clerk's report, treasurer's report, payroll and claims, Spring Hill Sports Live contract, Spring Hill High School Unified Bowling into Acacia sanctioned activity, adoption and purchase of resources for AP Computer Science principles, AP Computer Science, AP Environmental Science, and College Now teaching as a career, renewal of staffing agreement for First Stat nursing services, renewal of essential health skills for middle school, and approval of the youth teacher apprentice agreements.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented and read.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Rachel, please take the vote.
Mrs. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ewing,
Yes.
Mrs. Milius,
Yes.
Mr. Hole,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
approved.
Wonderful. All right, moving on to action item 7.01, personnel.
Madam President, I move to approve 7.01 personnel.
Okay.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Any further discussion? Rachel, please take the vote.
Mrs. Milius,
Yes.
Mr. Hole,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Mitchell,
Yes.
approved.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you. Moving on to 8.01. Oh, yes. 8.01, good news, recognitions, and announcements. Dr. Luttrell?
Yes, we have, as we said last month, we were going to have each month continue this portion of our agenda, but also have our communications department led by Director Mr. Scott Peavy being the one that coordinates this and makes the presentations. And then, of course, our board will always be doing the photo ops at the end. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Peavy at this point and let him recognize some individuals.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Luttrell. We actually have two different groups that we're going to recognize today. So here in a minute, I'm going to do a brief description of what we're recognizing each of these for. And then after I go through both, then we'll have people come up and we'll take pictures, but we'll do it at the end so we don't have too much transition back and forth. So earlier this summer, a group of our high school students, sponsored by Miss Adriana Wendell, traveled to Indianapolis in June for the International Thespian Festival. The group consisted of 5 students who achieved national qualifier status, including 3 superior ratings at the competition, and that's the highest rating that you can get at nationals. We believe that this is the first time in Spring Hill High School history that this group has achieved this level of success at the national competition. These national qualifiers and those who receive superior ratings are MJ Bailey in costume construction, Paige Jackson in solo musical theater, and Brecken Johnson in solo acting. This is a tremendous accomplishment for these students and something very worthy of board recognition. And tonight, 2 of these students, MJ Bailey and Paige Jackson, along with their sponsor, Miss Wendell, are here in person. And then our second recognition, and another student that we have here this evening who absolutely deserves this honor for a truly unique experience that he was able to participate in earlier this summer. Spring Hill High School student Keaton Neal participated in the 2025 High School Home Run Derby in Atlanta, taking place at the site of the MLB All-Star Game. Keaton and his family were able to attend the weekend's events, including the Futures Game, Celebrity Softball Game, MLB Home Run Derby, and the MLB Draft. This year is the 12th rendition of the High School Home Run Derby, and to give an idea just how elite the competition is at this annually, 19 previous participants have made it all the way to the major leagues, including a shortstop that plays in the area named Bobby Witt Jr. also participated in that earlier. Keaton performed very well at the competition, hitting 9 home runs during his rounds. We all want to say congratulations for your accomplishments and good luck in your remaining scouting events. They're still to come this summer. So with that said, I think we can have some photo opportunities. So we'll start with our International Thespian Festival students. Guys want to come up? Are you sure?
Was wonderful.
It was wonderful.
Center here behind the little logo there.
You would get right in the middle for a picture. You can't see it. You want to put that in that box. All right, fantastic. Thank you. Give a round of applause.
Congratulations.
You almost.
Outstanding. Congratulations. I'm gonna get one with him. Yeah, it's gotta be one to get one for me. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think we have a super fan right here.
Get your keep it jersey ready.
Congratulations, sir.
While everybody's coming back up here, parents, thank you so much for sharing your students with us. I so appreciate it. I also just really appreciate getting to see their accomplishments and, you know, what they're able to do with what we're able to provide. So thank you.
I agree. I think this is wonderful. We love celebrating kids, and I'm going to add a little one on here. He's not here tonight, but we had a young golfer, Ty McFarland, play in the Kansas Amateur Tournament a couple weeks ago. And I very randomly was at the same area he was. And so I stopped and watched him golf a few holes. And it's exciting to see our students succeed, even past what they're doing at our school and with our help, like that it just keeps going past that. So it's exciting. So congrats, kids. We're really proud of you. Okay. Thanks for coming and have a good evening.
Wait, you're not staying for the rest of the meeting?
Moving on to 9.01, we need an executive session.
Madam President, I move the board go into executive session to discuss attorney-client privileged information under COMA. Those to be in the session include the Board of Education member, superintendent of schools, assistant superintendent and administrators, and legal counsel. It's not in there, but the session to begin at 6:20 and ending at half hour. How long do you want?
30.
At 6:45 at this place.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Rachel, please take the vote.
Mrs. Milius,
Yes.
Mr. Hole,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ewing,
Yes.
approved.
Thank you.
Meeting at 7:05.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. There's a motion and a second. Any
Oh,
discussion?
sorry, mine was fine. Yeah.
All right, Rachel, please take the vote.
Mr. Holt,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Milius.
Yes,
Approved.
thank you.
Madam President, I move the board go into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel to protect the privacy interest of unidentifiable individuals under coma. Those to be in the session include the Board of Education members, superintendent of schools, and assistant superintendent of schools and administrators as requested. The executive session is begin at 7:10 with the open meeting resuming no later than 7:40. 7:30 at this place.
Second. Motion and a second. Any discussion? Rachel, please take the vote.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Milius,
Yes.
Mrs. Mitchell,
Yes.
approved.
All right, where are we?
All right, we are back in session and moving on to 10.01, 2025 summer project updates.
Good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to come up here and speak about summer projects. It has been another busy summer and we've done a lot of great things. And I will get started here. I want to be clear that this is just a high level overview of things. It's not everything we've done. And to stop me, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to stop. So stop me and ask. All right. And I would like to first thank the custodial grounds and maintenance staff. They have done a tremendous job. As you know, they've got just a short amount of time to get a lot of stuff done, and they've done that. And we're still pushing to the finish line. Things aren't completely done, but we've got 2.5 weeks about, so we're getting close. But I want to give them a big thank you. They do such a great job, and they care. So they really do. It's not about coming here to get a paycheck. They're actually have a heart for the students and staff, and they really want to do a good job. So kudos to them. All right, I will start here at the Early Learning Academy. Some of the projects we've done there, the east parking lot seal coat, that's complete. Concrete repairs we've done around the building, that's complete. There's a rock wall in front of the building. We did some repairs on that. That's complete. And then the LED lighting upgrades, it's about 98% complete. We just have a few punch list items we're working on there, but it should be pretty much done this week. We should have everything wrapped up. And I want to give a shout out to Energy Pro Electric. They are a company from Nebraska that came out and they did a phenomenal job. They did the lighting at the Early Childhood Center and at Spring Hill Middle School. I wouldn't even have known they came in and did anything. That's how clean they were. And there's been good contractors like that really clean up after themselves, but they did a phenomenal job. Honestly, there were some rooms I went in and I'm like, what did you do in here? Like, it was that clean. So
Those Nebraskans are really good people.
yes.
Not that you have a preference. Hey, Kylie, I don't remember, with those new LEDs, does that mean those are dimmable now?
They are. So the
Oh my
class,
God, that would be so awesome.
every single space isn't, but the classrooms are. Like, obviously we didn't dim the custodial closet. There's no need to, but the majority of the spaces are dimmable. So it'll be a nice feature. The teachers like to put those blue things they're like magnetics that stick up on there, and like hopefully that'll eliminate that and eliminate questions from the fire marshal of why you have that thing hanging from a light fixture. But
no, that'd be great. Thank you.
So yeah. What else? Classroom addition, we did add an additional classroom. All the furnishings were provided, whiteboards, and all that. So that's complete. Got some photos here. Here's the seal coat we did on the east end of the parking lot. And if you recall, last year we did the front area, which is the south side of the parking lot. So here's some photos of the LED lighting in the classroom, and this is in the multi-purpose room. So, and then here's some more photos and the exit signs. So everything was converted to LED, emergency lights, exit signs, any light there was, it was converted to LED. So, and then there's a photo of the classroom with the furnishings in it. All right, on to Spring Hill Elementary School. West parking lot seal coat, 60% complete. That will be finished here in the next couple of weeks. If you drive by there, you'll see like a portion of it's done. He had an issue with the squeegee machine and he pulled off of it, and it was more important for us to get Spring Hill Middle School done, the seal coat there. So he went over there and got that complete, but The work he's got done, we'll have that complete here in the next couple weeks. Concrete repairs are complete. The hot water circulation repairs are complete. And then LED lighting upgrades are about 98% complete. Again, there's just some punch list items that we've got to go through to finish that up, so. Here's a photo of concrete repairs. And here's the photo of the hot water circulation repairs. We added this expansion tank, new piping, and up above, you can't see there, there's a new hot water circulator pump. And then here's some photos of the LED lighting. Here's the couple classrooms. I think I got some more. Here's 2 more classrooms, so. And then before I go on, Mrs. Melius brought up something to me in regards to some line items with the LED lightings. So when we worked with ROI on this project, they didn't provide the color tuning fixtures that are in the certain classrooms. And so we went out to 2 vendors that I use, and they're 2 separate vendors we use for the same lighting. The reason I did that is because I got good relationships with them and I want to keep those relationships. So I used 2 different vendors to get lighting for 2 different sets of classrooms that we did. So the classroom 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we used 1 vendor to get the lighting. And then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, we used another vendor to get the lighting. Pricing was comparable, just something we did. So I will be sure to be more clear about these type of things in the future. I'm not trying to be deceitful or anything. So I will be very clear next time we do summer projects of all of our expenditures and how that's breaking out. So.
So he's referring to, in our payments, I reviewed that document very thoroughly. And, there were 2 amounts for Spring Hill Elementary lighting, close to our $20,000 threshold, but they were separate to 2 different vendors. And so he had done his due diligence to find and nurture these relationships to keep our partners good. So I wanted him to highlight that because that's the extra work that he did to keep things good. Although I had a question about where that stood, but he had done it purposefully to keep those relationships intact.
It does, and I wasn't aware of it, but from a financial standpoint, if we spent $18,000 and $18,000, that's structuring, and we've got to, if our intent is to spend more than that, the board has to exercise its authority, and I'm not doing this to.
Totally.
I know what you mean, and I'm not, but I just wanted to be clear.
Yep.
What you're preventing, and I appreciate that.
Yep.
And my next question is, so that means we're 100% up LED upgraded elementary now, right?
That is correct. Yes.
That is so cool.
Yes.
That is utterly cool. Thank you.
Yep. And understood your point. I totally understand, that won't happen again. So. All right, on to Timber Sage Elementary School. The only big project really we had there was seal coating the bus loop. We did seal coat the front of the parking lot area on the south end last year, so just kind of finishing up that bus loop there. Wolf Creek Elementary School parking lot seal coat, that's complete. And then concrete repairs are about 95% complete. And then here is a photo of, that would be the north end of the parking lot. The circle drive, the other side's done as well. And then here is the concrete repairs. There's some photos of it being done in the beginning, and there's the finished product of the front. And still got a little bit to go there, so. Spring Hill Middle School summer project update, parking lot seal coat, that's complete. Concrete repairs are complete. Boys locker room shower upgrades, 95% complete. Library blind upgrades complete. Hallway locker finish complete, and LED upgrades about 98% complete. And again, we just have a few punch list items there. And also all the LED lighting in the classrooms dimmable. So be very good for teachers that don't like the bright lights. Here's a photo of the parking lot. Some photos of the concrete work that was done. Some more concrete work that was done there by the stadium. It's the new blinds in the library. Very much needed. If you don't remember what was there before, they had those old style slatted. They let a lot of light through and they just looked really outdated. So, and then here are the lockers and they look phenomenal. If you get a chance to go see the lockers repainted, go check it out. They look great. It really
I stopped
icing on the cake.
the middle school last week and it looks like between the floors and all and the painting and it looks like a new school in there. It's awesome.
Yep, looks great. And then there's some photos of the lighting that's in the library there in one of the science classrooms. I think I've got some more. Yep, here's the art room and another science room. Spring Hill High School. So we did parking lot repairs and seal coat. We're 60% complete. Now, I want to explain when I first came to you about summer projects, we had on our books to do the full depth repairs. And that was in the student parking area. And then down below, we were finishing up the pavement project we had done the year previous. We didn't do that. And the reason we didn't do that is because since the bond passed, we're going to have to get into parking lot work anyway. And so it makes no sense to send, all the equipment out to do parking lot work when we can just do it when we're adding on the CTE center. We think it's kind of a waste of money and we'd be saving cost, mobilization fees and others. So.
That sounds awesome, Kylie. That sounds like a really great plan.
Okay, thanks. So we are going to do just some minor repairs, the seal coat for the lower area and do some pothole patching just to carry us through till we get to the time when we start doing the CTE center, and then we'll make those repairs at that time. Concrete repairs are complete, tennis court repairs complete, polished concrete floors in the science rooms are complete, and then restroom floor epoxy is complete. And there's a photo of the tennis courts. And there's one of the parking lots right there I was talking about that needs the full depth repairs throughout. So again, we'll wait on that. And then there's a before and after of the science rooms. Polished concrete, they look phenomenal. If you get a chance to go look at that, look at those two, they look great. Here's the restroom floor epoxy. And I want to point out that Mark Williams picked out that color. So if there's an issue with it, take it up with Mark. And then district-wide summer repairs. So we did parking lot crack sealing throughout the district. Cosmetic repairs, did a lot of painting and sheetrock work around the district. Landscaping repairs. Annual inspections on life safety equipment and preventative maintenance were about 90% complete. We have a few HVAC items to take care of, but we will get that completed here before school starts. And then I just took some other photos, like at the Early Childhood Center, we had the windows painted back to purple, which is the theme for the school. Some of the playground hopscotch and Foursquare painted. District-wide landscaping, Brandon McCutcheon and his team did a phenomenal job of landscaping items throughout the district. And then our custodial department, just beautiful, beautiful floors. I mean, they just do a great job.
Kyle, I gotta say it. Every year I look forward to the beginning of the school year just because of the condition of those floors. I mean, it looks like you could ice skate on those
Yeah,
floors.
it does.
That is impressive.
It is.
And I just have to say, Callie, on the landscaping, I so appreciate the purple clone flowers and the yellow accents and bringing the spirit of the school into landscape. I genuinely appreciate that.
I'm glad you noticed that. I don't think people notice that. We try to bring those school colors through in our landscaping, so thank you. And then there's some other photos, grounds department, they do just a great job. And then our maintenance department as well, they do a great job taking care of things, so. Again, kudos to them and also kudos to the individuals who helped us this summer. So we had some nutritional service workers help us, some paras. So we always appreciate their help. It doesn't go unnoticed. It's good.
Yeah, how many people were we able to kind of keep on and bring on board over the summer? Do you have a rough idea? I mean, I love that we do that.
I want to say around 13.
Okay.
So don't quote me on it. It's around that number. So. That is it. Any questions?
Any thoughts for Philadelphia?
I was just saying, nice jacket, Kylie.
Thank you.
I didn't get to comment on anything, so.
You dressed up for us. We appreciate that, sir.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming.
All right.
Thanks
Yep.
for all the good info. Okay, moving on to, I apologize, I'm to 10.02, the City of Spring Hill, 199th Street Easement Project and Trail MOU.
Yeah, this evening before you is an MOU between the City of Spring Hill and USD230 regarding the easement here on the north side of 199th and construction of a trail. Allison Abel from the City of Spring Hill is here to answer questions you guys might have for the city. We've had a couple of face-to-face meetings with some representatives from our district and from the city. We did a last meeting we had was I think it's a Zoom meeting going over some of these final details. And so you guys have had a chance to look over the MOU. So I think we're here to field any questions you might have for us as a district. And Allison will come up here to any questions you guys might have for the city.
I'll go ahead and ask a question. Hey, good to see you again. You know, this being wider than a standard, what a 4-foot sidewalk is standard, is to support a trail system or I'm still kind of confused on what the 10-foot versus a regular sidewalk and what the whole vision is.
So our standard for sidewalks, residential streets are 4-foot sidewalk. On our arterial streets, so the major collectors are going to be a 5-foot sidewalk. What we're trying to accomplish on 199th Street, which is our first complete street program, it's going to look very similar to what you see in Olathe and Overland Park, where we'll have ultimately a 4-lane roadway, 2 lanes in either direction. The south side will have a standard 5-foot sidewalk. The north side will have a 10-foot concrete trail. And that's the standard that we're trying to promote with the Complete Streets program. And again, we're trying to be very similar to some of our neighboring communities with the grass median in the middle so that we can have these major thoroughfares as we go through our city, as we start to get more and more development and more cars on the roadway.
Okay.
And the trails are supposed to be 10 foot to allow bikes, pedestrians, any other cross traffic.
That's kind of where I'm going because it just I was kind of confused of whether it was intentional as in like we're making the Katy Trail or we're making, you know what I mean, like Overland Park has the whatever it is that goes through and all that.
Well, we are working on a regional trail system. This is again, the first start. So we'll have the 10-foot trail along 199th Street. We will also be doing a complete street ultimately in 2028, 2029 on 207th Street. Similar product with the trail, the sidewalk, and the curb and gutter streets. We will also have it's called the East Streamway Trail that will bisect. It'll start at 199th and Ridgeview and go down to 207th and Woodland. So it'll be a great way for us to connect and ultimately connect into the regional trail system off of 223rd Street.
Okay. And just, you know, in terms of sidewalks and just so everybody knows how John Chitwood thinks, you know, we're a community-based school model. And from my seat, I want to see sidewalks at everywhere within 2 miles of one of our schools, with the idea that we're a community and a community-based model. So that's my personal position. Thank you.
And that's something that the city council is also very passionate about. They have directed staff to spend a considerable amount of money on sidewalks. We're trying to concentrate that in areas where there are schools. We've got a couple of projects that we're going to try to finish up this year to install some sidewalks. We also have some projects that will be under design, start design this year and be constructed next year in some of those areas that you're talking about near the schools. And I have a grant application into the federal USDOT for sidewalk improvements along South Street from US 169 to Webster so that we can try to bring some of those sidewalks together and get everybody to those activity centers.
Hi, Allison. How are you? It's good to see you again. 199th Street, the north side, then the 10-foot trail from Webster to where is the plan?
The plan ultimately, hopefully will go all the way to the city limits.
Okay.
From city limits to city limits. So the 199th Street improvements that are currently being finalized in the design, that'll be from Ridgeview to Renner.
Yeah.
And then Johnson County actually has the property to the east of Renner. So they're going to be doing a shoulder improvement sometime in the next 3 years. That will not have sidewalks and such. Once it becomes annexed into the city, it would eventually get the same treatment once we have the funds available. So this is the start. We would love to have this treatment throughout the whole city on all of our major thoroughfares. So from Webster all the way to the city limits is ultimately our plan.
Okay. And this is really similar. When you said Olathe, I'm familiar with what they just did this past summer on Ridgeview, right? They basically ripped up what they had and they put in something wider. And I believe it is 10 feet, right?
Yeah.
On the east side of Ridgeview.
Yeah.
So going back to one of the comments about grants are there grants that would cover sidewalks for school districts, us doing stuff jointly? I'm sorry, that just occurred to me and I never asked that question before, but it's just the money coming out of the coffers versus the being part of a larger project.
Well, there are grants available. The 207th Street project is a grant funded project. That's a $15 million project that we were able to get. Half of that will be paid for through KDOT in some of their programs that they have available for local agencies. I just applied for Safe Streets for All. We just finished adopting our comprehensive safety action plan for Safe Streets for All. Some of you guys have been involved with that activity, and I really appreciate all your help. We applied for about $11 million in grants to make improvements around the city, sidewalk grants and such. So to answer your question, yeah, there are grants available. We will continue to seek those. And with the support of the school district, I know Dr. Luttrell has written some letters of support for us. That goes a long way. A partnership with the school would also go a long way. So I'd love to continue to work with your staff to try to identify where we can work together on some of those projects.
Yeah, I would love to see more working together.
Okay,
This item was presented to our city council this last Thursday. Sure you guys got the briefing on that, but the city council did ask for us to dial back the numbers from the 2025 unit pricing back to the 2021 unit pricing, because that would have been when you would have installed the sidewalk or the trail, I'm sorry. So that unit price has been updated in a revised agreement. And my plan is to take this for action with our city council following your next meeting. So you guys will meet on August 11th. We will meet on August 14th. So whenever you guys go to do the official approval, we will follow up with ours as well.
okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Should we move this for action at our next meeting?
I mean, kind of my parting comment is, I'd really love to work more collaboratively in the future from a district and city standpoint instead of, hey, this is the plan, like it or lump it. That doesn't make me feel good.
Anyone against putting on our consent? Okay, let's move forward with putting on the consent agenda for our next meeting, please, Rachel. Awesome, thank you both. Okay, moving on to future discussion items. Anything anyone would like to add? Okay, is there anything that we see coming up, Dr. Luttrell, in our future meetings?
We do. We have been talking about that as an internal executive cabinet team, and I fully expect in between the Friday updates that you have been receiving and on some of our upcoming meetings between probably now and early October, you will see some information provided about the site-based classroom tour that I think would be great for the board members that are able to come and check out as we get those set up. We have also been working intently with trying to determine this fall, get some baseline data, just as a lady that came to speak this morning, tonight, about the technology piece, about just, how much screen time of that are we spending, at various grades, and what do staff, what do students, what do parents feel that impact is, but we're kind of waiting until we get people back to do that, but I expect, we have been having discussions about that, as well as the CT programming, which, with the aviation grant, that's still out there, and could be some other opportunities coming down the pipe that we're continuing to work with. You approved the apprentice program tonight. I think we've really barely touched the surface with that. And then the last one that I know that we have been talking, and Mr. Williams and his staff have been, and Billy have been working on bringing a proposal and further information about getting some internet access out at our ball fields. So yes, we are definitely keeping that at the forefront, trying to work those in the coming weeks as we can.
Awesome.
Just on the calendar opening ceremony, are we noticing that in case more than 3 of us show up? Are we noticing school opening in
Yes.
case more than 3 of us show up?
Noticing it.
Noticing,
Like.
publishing a
You will
notice.
notice it.
Sorry, I did.
Yes, Fort Clark Henderson always does that.
Okay.
Anytime there's going to be that opportunity for more than 3. And while Mr. Director Chitwood did bring that up, now that I've got the 4, I will say that again, our opening ceremony, it's not part of my superintendent's report, but it probably should be. I've been putting it in. Our opening ceremony is the very first thing that will occur this year whenever all of our staff reconvene on Thursday, August the 7th, which is a week from this Thursday. And we really have a great program that morning to kick off our school year with our theme, Excellence Every Day. And we actually do have a very exceptional outside speaker this year that we're going to bring in. And I hope that all of you will be able to maybe possibly attend that. It's going to be first thing in the morning on that August the 7th. Pastries and that probably available around 7:15, 7:30 with our program formally kicking off around 8:15. So hope you can come. But yes, we will notice that. Thank you.
Provide notice.
Okay, let's move on to our board work calendar. We've incorporated quite a few things. Is there anything, Dr. Lachelle, that we're missing that I think our budget work session is actually moved to August?
Yes, we will have at our budget workshop in August with the hearing. And then also another big thing that I didn't mention that's coming down the pipe that you all, if you've been following our social media, that we're excited about, that we will be bringing and sharing at a future meeting this fall will be our assessment data. And we're starting to get our ACT data in. We're getting our AP information in, and the preliminary results from that are exceptional. And so we can't wait to share that as well. And then we're still awaiting our spring assessments, which we were expecting last week, but it didn't happen. So we're still optimistic that we'll get that any day and be able to report out. But we're very excited that we're going to continue to have strong data that shows that, again, that our parents and our students and our staff are all working together to make sure that we have success for our students.
Looking at the annual calendar, we typically approve our site council appointments. Is that still the plan as our policy is still in place?
I believe you actually approved them at the last meeting as part of the organizational items. It was on that same item.
It was one of the attachments in the organization.
With all the individuals listed?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Not just board members, but everybody. Okay, I apologize. I missed that.
And as far as the policy is concerned, we'll bring back a revised recommendation at the next meeting after getting some feedback from Mr. Goheen.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I think we're on track, and our next meeting is August 4th, and it's our budget work session with Mr. Holder. Is that surprise?
That'll be next Monday, correct? Okay. I did not have that on my calendar, but I can make sure that happens.
Yeah. 11th on the calendar?
Yes, I didn't have the work session item. I had the budget workshop on the 25th.
I see. So like the hearing and the workshop, we have it on ours to do a budget work session with you on the 4th. Would you let us know rather quickly this week if maybe that's not the case?
It's not practical.
Yes.
Okay.
I can, I'll let me give it some thought. But by tomorrow I can definitely have an answer and a direction to move forward.
Well, and in fairness, maybe an approach for us to look at this, since we do have it on the calendar, is maybe not to make it as formal as some would expect it to be. This is our opportunity to really sit down with Mr. Holder for the first time and go through this process together. And it might not be that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying, as far as an initial meeting, so that we can kind of button things up then for the following workshop that you've got scheduled on the 25th. Is that right? Yeah, on the 25th.
Doug, I think that's a really good point, that as long as we align our expectation.
Yeah.
That it's a work in progress.
Yeah, exactly.
Discussion.
Exactly.
Does that make you more comfortable?
Yeah, I'm happy to go through it. Just the timeline that I have is, obviously we're working on it right now. So it kind of depends on what we want the discussion to be. If it's a more generalized discussion of overall, budget, how we ended the year. I can have how we ended FY25. That information will be available with balances. The actual budget, I go to Topeka on August 13th.
Oh.
So that'll be after the 4th, obviously.
Yeah,
So-
and that's why I'm saying this is because to set the expectation that we're not expecting to be going through the 25-26 budget per se. It may actually be a great exercise for you, for us to kind of level set some expectations that we have going into the budget process itself, and may actually help you.
Yeah. And we can use 24, 25. as a
Exactly,
basis.
exactly. Yes.
The other part we could share, because it's ready to go, are what was provided to us from the buildings as part of their building needs assessment. That would be a good opportunity to review those, and if the board has input,
Yeah.
to be able to do some of that, and that would save us. We had originally kind of mapped it out to do them both on the 25th, but it would make more sense to do that in advance at the work session. And that way the 25th could be just
Great
focused
idea.
on the budget.
Perfect.
Yeah. So for our work session, can we have multiple agenda items, Rachel? One in regards to the building needs assessment, and then a budget conversation. I don't know how we'd like to label that, but I think both of those will, so that everyone's clear on what's going to be discussed there.
Yeah, just a previous year kind of review and just expectation level set for 25-26.
All right, thank you. Whew. I'm wondering if I should keep going and let anyone else know that they're gonna be coming up soon. Okay, well, I think we're good on our work calendar. Moving on to 13.01 Superintendent's Report.
My report is very brief. I touched on them just a bit ago, but our first day of school for students is set for the August 13th. It's not very far away at all, about 16 days. And we have our new teachers that are new to the district. They will be on campus starting this Friday, August the 1st, and there'll be a lot going on for them. They'll be having meetings and introduction. They've already been onboarded. And I know that there's some things that we also do with the chamber to help orient them in. And then, like I said, our other staff members, returning teachers, and that will be back, everybody on that, as I said, that Thursday, August the 7th date. And we will be, like I said, off and running. And as you saw earlier, our staff have been working hard to make sure that when our students and parents start returning, that everything's going to be in tip-top shape. And I think that's very evident of the quality of people that we have, making sure that that happens. So that's my superintendent's report.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Luttrell. Okay, moving on, we need an executive session, please.
Okay.
Yep.
Madam President, I move the board go into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel to protect the privacy interest of unidentifiable individuals. Under some of those to be in the session include the Board of Education members and superintendent of schools, and others as requested. The executive session to begin at 8:10 with the open meeting resuming at 8:40? 8:40? At 8:40 at this place.
Right, there's a motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Rachel, please take the vote.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ewing,
Yes.
Mrs. Milius,
Yes.
Mr. Hole,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
approved.
I'm gonna do extra large.
Okay, we are back in session.
And
There's an agenda item for an executive session. I don't believe it's needed and there's no motion, so we will move on and adjourn.